impressive that this is a Honda Civic with 2 bolt-ons and a tune.
Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Car Addict. This is one of them nights. I really wish that supercoolant did warm up faster because it is 31 degrees outside. I originally intended to go to the Shell station and fill up my gas can with E85 because I'm going to need it for my quad anyways, and then I could test it and just see how close my sensor actually is, because as long as 12.4 is what the spill tank holds, and that's what Honda advertises, it took me 7 gallons to fill it up, and I only drove a few miles from the E85 to the 92, so I'm not counting that little bit of gas. I mean, there's what, a 1/8 of a gallon, if not even that. So that's weird. How is my coolant 59 degrees already when it's 32 degrees outside? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Alright, so I got it on at 68. The other day it was 57, so 11 degrees earlier, but it was 15 degrees cooler outside. So just for the hell of it, let's see with it mixed in fully to the system, if it at all changes warm up. Back to the 85. So basically I knew I had 5.4 gallons in the tank, so I got to test ARCO as well, and if that's truly 11 or 10 or 12, that's good enough for me. And the 85 is anywhere basically from 80 to 85, it's good enough for me, because off my numbers there, it showed me ARCO was 11%, Shell 85 is 83%, and USA Gasoline's premium is 6%. Shit, I'm in a hurry because I got to return a red box. Plus, I was going to get a gas can out of the shed on the way, but I'm running late, and it's 31 degrees out, and I'm still in a t-shirt and shorts from working in the house, and I don't want to go out to the shed because it's cold. So I'll do it tomorrow. And I'd leave right now, but I cannot see. So let's get some defrost going. I've been sitting here like an idiot with everything turned off because I flashed the car earlier, and I always turn all the stuff off. I wrote a new map. When the car is warmed up, we'll see what happens as far as the ignition and stuff goes. I actually have it targeted now. I still only have done like the bottom right corner of the tables, high load, high RPM. At those situations, the max I'm targeting is like 4 extra degrees, but that would be with 100% ethanol, or when I choose 100% on that table. At E26, I'm only adding like 30% of that table. So right now I'm really only targeting an extra 1.5 degrees, where I have logs from my E25 map that I was at like, and this was when I was wide open on the freeway doing triple digits and pulling through 4th gear. I had 10 degrees of timing. So I'm sure I can get much more aggressive than I am so far. But better safe than sorry. I don't want to try to add 15 degrees and then blow the damn car up. Although I'm sure knock control and all that crap would step in and save my ass. So I talked to my buddy again with his 2G Talon. It's a TSI all-wheel drive. Stock bottom end, stock head. I believe he's got cams in it. I don't remember which ones. And he's got an FP 3065, some big ass injectors, and I'm pretty sure he tuned it with DSM link. It is having issues, so I'm gonna have a benefit there. But he says she's probably good for one or two more pulls, and he's willing to use up those 1 or 2 pulls running the old Civic. So hopefully that'll happen one of these days. And I always meant to get down to Bellevue and run my friend's Boxster S that he just bought like a few months ago, but he sold it because it was just sitting there. He bought it as a wedding present for his wife, and then she didn't really drive it because she doesn't drive the manual, and then it just sat there, and then he was actually able to sell it for like 45–50% more than he paid for it. So I definitely don't blame him for selling it, but I think that would have been a good run because on paper anyways, it kind of should have been right there, neck and neck. I would somewhat have to give the driver mod, I'd have to give that nod to him a little bit. I don't know about just straight line acceleration, but as far as a track goes, we used to go to tracks when we were in high school all the time, these go-karts around here, and if I wouldn't go with him, I'd feel really good about myself. But every time me and him would go, we'd end up at in like the top of the leaderboards for the day, or even for like the week or whatever. I forget how it worked. We were always at the top, but it was always like 1-2, him and me. He always friggin' beat me every time, not by a lot. And I'm not sure. I think they go by your best times, not your averages, because I don't think our averages were ever too far off, but he always got that killer lap or two that had a better time than I did. So definitely, I think on a road course, plus me being a Civic EXT and him in a Porsche Boxster S, I think he would definitely take me down. But straight line, who knows? But we will never know anymore. So I need to get on the ball and just go get these runs in when I have the opportunity instead of waiting. And again, I didn't get the grill on today either because it was pretty much low 40s all day long. Even when it got sunny out, it still never got warm. So didn't really do anything to the car. Now, the next thing I'm going to do to the car, I got a little more incentive to get the clutch in because I was talking to somebody about making my car the loaner for a couple days for development, but they want me to have the clutch in, and then I'll walk away with a free product. So I need to get that done, as well as, this is a mod probably none of you will do, and you probably think I'm going to be crazy doing it, but I actually ordered a hitch and wiring for this bad boy because coming up pretty soon I'm going to be dragging my quad down to Mexico, and what better way to get your Honda to Mexico than behind your Honda? I guess I could have got a Ridgeline, but not really because I can't afford one. I hate that there's drilling involved, but it is what it is. I kind of wanted to get the one, they sell it where you take the whole bumper and bumper beam off, bolt it on, and then it's just like this, the little piece hangs down so you don't see the whole crossbar. But then you have to trim the fascia, and while I would rather run a different diffuser anyways later on, I'm just not a big fan of having to trim body panels for that kind of stuff. So I got the one where you do have to see the whole crossbar, but the plan is I'm just going to take it off. Anytime I need a tow, I'll put it on. If I'm not going to tow, I'll take it off, because this is not going to be a tow rig very often. Locally, I would just use my truck. But if I'm driving 2,000 miles, which it's not quite that far, but it's far, round trip, it's probably more than that for sure. I'm not doing it in a truck that gets 10 miles to the gallon. I'd rather do it in a car that gets 30 something. And I've towed a load twice this big with my 9th gen Accord, which was technically overloaded. Power was fine, braking was no problem, handling was no problem. Fuel mileage kind of sucked. It did drop down to like the high teens, but that was twice the load, and the car was less fuel efficient than this one. So we'll see how the towing mileage goes. I'll give an update when I get back, how it did. And I'm not going to tell anybody when I'm leaving. I doubt any of you guys even know where I live, but if you can figure it out, last time I was gone, I got ripped off, even with my wife home. We parked the car on the street when I left, and I came back, no amp, no CD player, radar detector, no sunglasses, all my shit was gone. So I do have a 4-channel night vision security system all around the house. So if you do take my shit, I'll have you on camera anyways. But I'd still rather just keep my shit. And I forgot to mention about the ethanol edition on that table. Now, on their own help section of their website, they do say that normally the additional fuel table is not modified. But everything I've ever read says you need to burn about 30% more ethanol than gasoline. So at 100% ethanol, I don't know why I would add 46%. So I still wanted to leave it a little bit on the safe side though for the time being, so I put 35% at 100% ethanol. And then at 50% I put like 18. So at 11% I only put 3%. That way I can get the car set up for that. If I ever do get ethanol free, it should just make up for it, because really at 11% it should be about 3%. If I get a 1 or 2% swing either way on the long term that it learns just for that tank, I mean, that's fine. The factory programming learned like what, a -7% fuel trim or something like that when PRL tested the stock map to get results to test against their intake with the stock map. So I don't think that's too bad, and I don't think what I set up is too bad either, because I'm at 0% long term still, and my short terms are, it's gonna learn positive, I think, because my short terms are mostly positive, but it's really not all that bad. So obviously I've mentioned I'm working on the house. The whole point is to get it done and sold and out of there, and pay everything off so that I can not have these huge monthly payments I have, and then I'll have a lot more spare money, because I'm buying a cheaper house further away from everything, because I hate living in the middle of everything, and I don't like people in general, so I don't like to live with the population. My wife does, but I don't know. She chose the state, and I'm the moneymaker, so I at least want to pick the city. And then we can do a lot cooler things with the Civic once I start having some money. Alright, so that was it. Thanks for letting me waste your time with absolutely nothing happening, and talk to you guys later. Alright, bye.